Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Wealth Advisory's Top 10 Stocks. We're already on to July, which means we're through the first half of the year. It's been kind of a rough first half to the year, and honestly, I don't really see it getting a whole lot better for the rest of the year. I think we're going to have a down month in July. Markets got down really low in June. For the first couple of weeks, our top 10 was actually performing really, really well, but about week 3 of June, everything just sort of took a hit. We ended up performing about in line with the markets, which was not a great performance this month. Just to sort of recap for the year to date, the markets are just getting crushed. The Dow's down 15%, the S&P is down 20%, the Nasdaq's down almost 30%. But the thing is, there's still further that these guys could go down. This isn't a regular correction or crash. This is something that has been coming sort of for a long time. It's been building. It's almost like a deleveraging of the economy. We're seeing a lot of companies out there. Revlon was a big one that just declared bankruptcy this past month. And basically, what happened is Revlon, not Levron. Revlon was so levered up. They had so much debt that when it came time to renew that debt, they couldn't pay those higher interest rates that they're being forced to pay right now. And so basically they had to say, look, we can't pay our bills anymore. We gotta get bankruptcy protection. And they may be the first company to do that, but there's a lot of companies out there who aren't going to be able to pay their bills once interest rates continue to go up. So, it's a rough situation out there. It was a rough month in the markets. It was a rough month for our top 10. There's really no sugarcoating it. We performed about in line with the markets, like I said. My goal is to perform better than the markets. And right now, you would think that would be pretty easy. Honestly, just sort of sticking with cash would outperform the markets. But then if you do that, you got to worry about the 8 to 9% inflation. Holding on to your cash, you're losing 8 to 9% a year. And it's probably going to get higher. So it's a really interesting market we're in. It's a crazy time, but when bubbles burst, when markets crash, that's really the best time to be an investor. It's one of the scariest times to be an investor because you don't know what's coming next. But let me tell you that, if you take a step back, if you zoom out and you look at history, markets go up and down, but they go up a lot more often than they go down. And real fortunes, they're made when people buy during these crashes, when people invest during these bottoms, during these down times, when everybody else is afraid. They say, be greedy. Warren Buffett says be greedy when everybody else is fearful, and be fearful when everybody else is greedy. And if you look at Warren Buffett, he's out there buying. He just added $44 million worth of Occidental Petroleum to his holdings. That's pretty huge, especially when people are saying that the energy trade is over. I think Warren Buffett sees something that they're not seeing. He's being greedy when everybody else is being fearful, and that's what you need to do. And with that in mind, we're going to keep going for the top 10 this month. It's going to be kind of tough. It's going to be tough to pick those stocks and figure out which ones are going to actually go up. But what we're going to do is we're just going to try and beat the markets. We're going to try and avoid losing as much as the markets, and we're going to go with some stocks that we think have a good shot of at least outperforming the markets, if not giving us a little profit this month. So like I said, we could just tuck our tails between our legs and say go all cash, but that's not what investors do, and that's not what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and get into the list. Like last month, I'm going to start it off with the 10th pick. I'm going to run down through my first 5. And then we're going to cut it off for those of you who are watching on YouTube. If you want to get the other 5 picks, the 1 through 5, you'll have to sign up for a subscription to the Wealth Advisory. It's only fair that I'm giving all of the picks to my paying subscribers, but you're still getting a good head start here with the first 5. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into it with our number 10 stock this month, Qualcomm. Now Qualcomm has a ticker symbol QCOM, and it trades on the NASDAQ index. And what I really like about Qualcomm this month is that a court just rejected Apple's bid to invalidate Qualcomm's patents. Qualcomm basically owns the patents on the chips that make your cell phone work. They own the patents on the modem chips. They own the patents on the chips that help them connect to each other and connect to the cellular networks. And so Qualcomm makes a whole lot of money by licensing those chips and those patents out to other companies to use. And so Apple been trying to basically, invalidate those patents and say that they don't have to pay Qualcomm anymore. Well, the court said that they do have to pay Qualcomm and those patents hold. And after failing on making its own cellular chips, Apple's basically got no other choice but to stick with Qualcomm. So we're going with Qualcomm. It's a tech stock, so it's a little bit iffy, but with all of that good news coming, I think that it's one that can outperform the markets this month. So our number 10 pick is Qualcomm Incorporated. Now let's move on to the next. There we go. I'm still sort of learning how to use my screen here, so I appreciate your patience, guys. Our next pick, number 9, is going to be Chewy. Now this one, guys, this is all about momentum. Chewy's ticker, is CHWY. Chewy. It trades on the New York Stock Exchange, the NYSE. And really, this one is all about momentum. Chewy was up 30% last month after it got sold off like trash the month before, but still, it was up 30%. So this is a momentum play. It's a recession play too, though, because people aren't going to stop feeding their pets just because the economy's hard. But they might stop driving to the store for the food when gas is so expensive that it costs like $100 to fill their tank. So I'm thinking Chewy, a company that delivers pet food, could have a good business model for a recession. And like I said, also the momentum's behind it, up 30% last month. Let's see if we can get another few percent out of it this month. So that's our number 9 pick, Chewy. Let's go ahead and clear my canvas and move on to the next pick. Number 8, we have my favorite contractor, your favorite contractor, the best contractor that nobody knows, Leidos Holdings. Leidos trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol LDOS. And what I love about Leidos is that it's a huge government contractor, but nobody really knows about it. It's constantly inking, multi-billion-dollar contracts with the NSA, with the CIA, with all the different branches of the military, and it's defense. Defense is a recession-proof industry if there ever was one, or at least recession-resistant, because countries are not going to skimp on protection just because the economy stinks. If anything, they're more likely to put more money into it to stimulate economic growth. So, with a recession probably headed our way, potentially already here, I think Leidos is going to be one of the better stocks. I think it's going to outperform in the market. So it's going to be our number 8 pick for July. Now moving on to number 7. I'll figure this screen out one day, I promise. We've got Americold. Americold Realty trades on the New York Stock Exchange also. Actually, all of the rest of the companies that I'm picking this month trade on the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. Qualcomm is the only NASDAQ stock. So, Americold, ticker symbol COLD, which it is not in Baltimore today. It's very hot. But again, this is a momentum play. Americold was up close to double digits last month while the markets were down close to double digits. That's relative strength, that's serious outperformance, and that's what we're banking on happening again in July. So we're going to go with Americold. And honestly, long term, we really like Americold because the cold storage warehouses, it's a very fractured industry. And Americold is basically, it's the biggest player in that industry, but it only owns about 20% of the market. So there's a huge potential for long-term growth here. So just, long-term, we love Americold because it can consolidate this industry, and it's really the only player that could. Short-term, momentum. Americold was running last month. Let's see if it can run some more this month. So our number 7 pick, Americold, ticker symbol COLD. All right, guys, we're moving right through them this month. Next up, we've got our number 6 pick. And our number 6 pick, you guys are going to recognize from last month. It's the Guggenheim Strategic Opportunities Fund. It trades, again, on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol GOF. Add an L in there, and we can play some golf. But we're not playing golf, we're playing golf. Golf is all about income. I mean, income, income, income. We're going to want more of it during a recession, and this investment is literally all about paying out income. Plus, right now, after dropping last month, it's yielding around 14%. And I can't turn down a paycheck that big, you know? So I think we should all be loading up on this one to help cushion the losses if the market craters more in July. And that 14% yield, I mean, that's beautiful, you know? Lock that in. So that's our top 6 for the month of, or sorry, that's our top, that's the top 5, the bottom 5 of our top 10. I'm not quite sure how to say that, but that's numbers 6 through 10 of our top 10 this month. Let's do a little recap. And then we'll get into the top 5. So, 10 through 6, we've got number 10, Qualcomm Incorporated, trading on the NASDAQ under ticker symbol QCOM. Next up, we've got Chewy, trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol CHWY. Number 8, Leidos Holdings, our favorite government contractor, trading on the New York Stock Exchange as well under LDOS. Number 7, number 7's coming. There it is, number 7, Americold Realty Trust. Like I said, I'm still learning how to use the screen, guys, sorry. Bear with me. Anyway, Americold Realty Trust, New York Stock Exchange, ticker symbol COLD. And now number 6 is Guggenheim Strategic Opportunities Fund, because we love that income. That also on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol GOF. And for those of you watching on YouTube, this is where I leave you for the month. Thank you again for tuning in. If you want to get those top 5 picks, feel free to click that link down in the description below and become a full-time member of the Wealth Advisory. We would love to have you join us. But if you don't want to, that's fine also. Keep watching these on YouTube for free for as long as you want. Check back in next month and we'll see how those 5 did.